This is Emily Holmes, Director of Psychological Health for the 189th. This is your official annual suicide prevention training for 2021. I'm going to go over some learning objectives for this training. Understand how leadership can support connection, modeling healthy coping skills, normalize help seeking and checking in with others, know how to take clear and quick action to assist others, effectively use the ACE model, identify strategies for increasing connection and coping strategies. Before we move on, a quick disclaimer. This topic may be difficult to discuss. Some of you may have had personal experience with suicide and it may be difficult to participate. At any time, feel free to take a few moments for self-care or ask for help if you are having difficulty. We want open dialogue, but we also want to remain respectful of those around us. Even if you don't have a personal experience, someone in this room may. Statements should be respectful at all times. I will go over the material in these slides. There will be prompts throughout the video presentation to pause and have group discussions. Connection plays an important role in suicide prevention. Connectedness means that people feel a sense of belonging. They feel seen and heard and know that others care and will be there for them. Listening and being connected allows us to learn more about one another, recognize changes in behavior indicating someone is stressed or in distress, and work as a team to build up and support one another. When we feel connected to others, we have people we can reach out to in a time of need or when distressed. What does connectedness mean to you? And how can connectedness prevent suicide? You can pause this video to take a moment to discuss. For leaders, leadership-built connectedness helps prevent losses to suicide. Active listening helps improve our connectedness. It allows us to learn more about one another, recognize changes in behavior, build a successful team, and provide support to one another. Here are some key ways to demonstrate active listening. Ask open-ended questions. Request clarification. Be attentive. Summarize. Paraphrase. Reflect feelings. Be attuned to feelings, and ask probing questions. Let's discuss some risk factors and warning signs. Let's discuss the difference between stress and distress. Stress is a normal part of our lives. Occasionally, stressors overwhelm our ability to cope and may result in symptoms or trigger a state of distress. Distress is a state of extreme anxiety, sadness, anguish, worry, sorrow, or emotional pain. It's important to understand and identify healthy ways of coping with stress. Let's pause to discuss what are examples of healthy ways of coping with stress. What happens when those healthy ways of coping don't work, or if we don't use these skills and stress builds up over time, or if a stressor is so overwhelming that it leads to distress? Risk factors are characteristics or conditions that increase the chance that a person may consider, attempt, or die by suicide. What risk factors and warning signs might we notice in someone who is struggling or in distress? I'll pause for discussion. Some risk factors may include marital relationship problems, workplace issues, legal problems, a victim of abuse, money or financial concerns, death of a loved one or pet, someone close dying by suicide, alcohol use, significant life-altering event. Warning signs are usually visible behaviors that may indicate someone is in distress and needs someone to check in with them. Signs may include extreme mood swings, anger, anxiety, and depression, isolation and withdrawal, hopelessness, feeling like a burden, misuse or abuse of alcohol, drugs, talking about dying or suicide, posting concerns or troubling messages on social media. Before we talk about intervening, let's step back for a moment and look at the bigger picture, the culture change we can foster to support prevention. We need to support an environment where checking in with others and seeking help when we need it is common, encouraged, and normalized. Culture change comes through normalizing help seeking and openly talking about mental health behavioral issues. Leaders are a key to moving culture change forward. As a leader, pause to discuss how you can model healthy coping strategies and how do you encourage help seeking behaviors. Leaders can have conversations about what we do to take care of ourselves, promote healthy coping so that stress does not become distress, be present and genuine, talk about available resources, provide encouragement to those proactively seeking help, speak to our own challenges, talk about responsible habits like drinking, sleep, exercise, eating, discuss why it is important to seek help and get it early, and discuss available resources. A leader's perceptions, beliefs, and biases may affect reaching out for help. Our words or actions may also prevent someone from reaching out to us for help or may be a barrier for someone to access the help they need. What impact do your actions as a leader have on help seeking? So as fellow wingmen, what role can we play in creating an environment that encourages help seeking? Again, supporting an environment where checking in with others and seeking help when we need it is common, encouraged, and normalized. Wingman intervention skills, including the 3 Ds, direct, distract, delegate, are important for early intervention when someone may be showing signs of stress before they become overwhelmed or distressed. Barriers exist in applying the 3 Ds and at each step of ACE, which may make it difficult to effectively intervene. There are ways to work through and go around these barriers, starting by becoming aware of them, so we can be there for the others when they need us most. We've talked about building connections to be in a position to recognize a change in someone, and we would like to see a culture where this is discussed and supported more. But if we need to intervene at some point, how can we do that? We use the ACE model as a resource to assist in intervention. What is ACE? ACE stands for Ask, Care, Escort. Ask your wingman. Calmly ask, are you having thoughts of killing yourself? Care for your wingman. Be genuine, empathetic, and non-judgmental. Listen and become silent in your own thoughts and seek to understand, not to fix them, and removing access to means. And then escort. Escort your wingman. Never leave your wingman alone. Simply knowing the steps does not make it easy to have a conversation. What are some barriers? Pause for discussion. What are some barriers that may prevent you from asking someone about whether they are thinking about dying by suicide? And what are barriers to showing we care? It's important to remember to go slow. Ask if the person has tools they could use for self-harm, like weapons, over-the-counter prescription medications, sharp objects, rope. Slow stands for using safe locks or store lethal means outside of the home. Ask if you or someone they know can help by securing or removing any tools that may be used for self-harm. Slide. It is important for leaders to embrace lethal means safety. Again, it's important to go slow. Regularly promote safe firearm storage as well as safe storage of other means such as medications. Understand the importance of time-based prevention measures. After you've escorted someone to a safe place, what follow-up should you do? It's important to follow up but have realistic expectations. You can't solve all of their problems, but you can continue to show you care. Don't avoid them and show empathy. Beyond follow-up, how do you help them reintegrate back into the unit? Reintegration is critical for maintaining connectedness. Let the person guide what they want to share or not share and empower them. For senior leaders, how we prepare ourselves to deal with the aftermath should an attempt or a death occur is called postvention. This includes all the activities and responses by leadership following a death by suicide or attempted death by suicide. It's important to allow opportunities for members to discuss the pain and burden, encourage airmen to talk about the loss, model emotional intelligence by sharing own feelings of grief or pain, connect personnel to resources, and use available postvention guides and checklists for leaders. Connectedness and belonging fosters protective and supportive environments which increase resiliency before, during, and after stressful life events. Connectedness and belonging help us recognize signs of stress and distress in others and ourselves. A resource matrix has been included with national and local resources for you to use. This can be found in the training folder for additional resources. Complete the training evaluation. There's a QR code or a website link. For Tier 1, the Tier 1 evaluation is completed by O3 and E6 and below, and the Tier 2 evaluation is completed by O4 and E7 and above. Credit for the training will be the sign-in roster that will be provided to your UTM to be tracked into ArcNet. Please reach out to me if you have any questions or concerns. Thank you.